If you are born non-white in this country, you are born to a life of sacrifice. Are you prepared to fight for non-whites in position of power and decision-making on this campus?
The Black Caucus was the first group in the UC system to form and challenge administration to respond to certain kinds of demands.
The Black Caucus was a very important vehicle on this campus because of the prejudices and the racism that prevailed during that period of time.
I don't think there was one person that would come to those caucus meetings that did not have a story to tell about racism and how they were being unfairly treated.
UCSF was known as the plantation on the hill because of the way it treated its employees, primarily those in the custodial service.
It takes an organization to move an organization, so why don't we organize? And that's pretty much the birth of the Black Caucus.
The very first Black Caucus meeting we had was, we had a big meeting in Cole Hall.
And it's amazing how many people showed up. People in clerical positions showed up, people in janitor's positions.
And the first order of business was to issue this letter of demands. Some of the demands had to include increasing the staffing, but really our primary demand was to increase the number of students in the medical school.
We had to get people of color into the system and then retain them.
The idea was to create an environment that allowed blacks to excel.
And our work was cut out for us, and we took care of business. Our membership would tell us where the problems were. Investigation committee would go out and check that out.
Basically, we were there to monitor any discriminatory practices on the campus. And so we set goals for each department and for each school, and we included what we would be doing to ensure that these goals were met. The Black Bulletin reported what we were doing and what we needed to do.
It was a vehicle to stay in touch with one another. People needed to know what was going on.
And of course, we didn't have the technology we have today. We had mimeograph machines that left you covered with black ink, but we managed to get it out.
We sort of thought of ourselves as a full-service organization. We threatened to strike because a demand that we had asked for wasn't granted.
All 6 elevators in Moffett should come down to the basement because of the large numbers of people who work in the basement.
And they didn't believe we would strike, and we did.
We just walked off our jobs and just came out and refused to go back to work until they did something about it. We marched around this campus to make sure that San Francisco and California knew, and the world knew, that we were not satisfied with things going on.
If it wasn't for them, the janitors and the maids, we wouldn't have been able to pull it off because they were willing to put their jobs on the line.
And the people were willing to do that. I mean, these are not employees who were making significant salaries, but when they struck, that was really critical because administrators were pushing patients around because there were no patient escorts to move the patients from wherever. So it was a significant event. We were pretty persuasive. We were not something that they could shut the door and forget about.
There were more protections afforded to janitors, and there was more dignity that they were able to secure.
It changed the culture of the campus.
It's almost in the bricks and mortar now. The battle scars are all on the walls.
And as a result, this campus became the model for other universities.
It is now renowned throughout the system as the leading campus in medical research, in student recruitment.
This is UCSF, and these are the values in which we're operating.
We have shown this world today that it can be done, that we can follow in the footsteps of Dr. Martin Luther King.